Yo, what is going on, guys? Wanted to go ahead and drop a video for you, and this video is going to be going over how to adjust out of the 4-4 defense that I dropped the other day. Now, the 4-4 defense in general is a very blitz-heavy defense, and if you try to sit there and play your standard coverage defensive shells out of it, you're going to really struggle. So, like the cover threes and all that, yeah, although they're decent to mix in, your best bet is to actually show the blitz, make your opponent respect the blitz, and then adjust out of that. And when your opponent knows that they are going to get screamed at, and like I said, this blitz is truly unblockable, if they know they're going to get screamed at, then all of their reads are going to be sped up. They're going to all be very quick. That's going to allow you to make adjustments to where you can take one player out of their blitz assignment, whether it be the outside linebacker, the inside linebacker, anything like that, and you'll be able to still scream at your opponent, but also make it to where now it's a guessing game. So do they hike throw these short outs or hitches or things like that, or are they going to be throwing right into the one adjustment that I make coverage-wise? So as you saw right off the bat, you can take, out of this 4-4, you can take your middle linebackers and man them up. You can put them in zones. My traditional adjustment that I make is I will typically man up the running back on one of the defenders, or excuse me, on one of the running backs. Now there I gave up a big play. That's just the nature of the beast, and I want you guys to understand that it's not as simple as, all right, you're never going to give up any points. But as you'll see in this game, as I start getting a feel for what my opponent wants to do, I start taking away his reads really well, and you're pretty much going to be, in my opinion, boxed. I mean, here you see what I'm doing. I'm mixing it up. I'm manning up my middle linebacker on somebody randomly to take away their first read. And then my user is generally, especially in bunch, is generally guarding the slot receiver. And I'm going to utilize my outside corners to take away short routes if I deem necessary, as you guys will see. So the thing that I almost always do, and what, especially against bunch, makes it to where this blitz comes in every single time, you want to take your user and man him up on the tight end. Even though you're not going to actually guard the tight end, it will dumb the tight end out to the point where if you blitz off that side, the tight end pinches inward, allowing the outside rusher to come in free. So you'll see that this is something I do all the time, and right there, we saw that zig is going to be one of his go-to routes, as is in most gun bunch players' offenses. So I just jumped it. I knew the pressure was coming in. I knew he had to throw it quick, and I was able to get the stop. So now that we've tied the ball game back up, it's 7-7. I'm feeling good, right? He's in bunch. He seems to know what he needs to do. It's just a matter of if he's going to be able to outjust me with the adjustments. So here we go. Once again, I'm sending crib, and I'm going to force him to actually respect this. As you see, he max protects. We get two people to come in free, get a strip sack, and ultimately take a 7-point lead. So we're up 14-7. His first drive was pretty much spot on. He hit a zig. He outran my whole team. But besides that, I've pretty much locked this up. I know that he's trying to hit the zig to the slot. He's running a lot of mesh post, meaning if I give him time, he will throw the post drag combination over the top. Here you see I actually jumped the same zig again, but I got bumped off the route. He was able to complete it. Picked up a couple yards, but once again, we got two people in free right there. So, just the way that I know this game is going, right? He knows, in theory, how to pick up pressure, right? He knows how to max protect and slide and all that. The problem is, you can tell he has no idea what to do against this 4-4, which allows us to get adjusty. As you see right here, now I'm putting my outside guy into a soft squat. Just in case he throws the zig, I want to be able to, make a play on it. I guard the post, and basically because I knew the zig was going to be guarded, and he technically had the drag route open, didn't have time to throw it, he got sacked. The thing to note with these blitz-heavy type of defenses, when you are adjusting and you're starting to take away one route, there's obviously going to be something left open, right? And there's no way to take away every route they have when we've only got 4 zones that we're kind of playing with. But when you know everything is going to generally be short, as you can see once again, we jumped the short route. Everything else, wasn't necessarily guarded, but he didn't have time to actually throw it. So there was a turnover on downs. I believe we're up 21-7. And yeah, at this point, I feel like the game's completely in my control. And there's really not anything my opponent's doing that's, making me uncomfortable at this point, right? You've seen that I'm putting my outside guys sometimes into soft squats, sometimes I'm leaving them in their deep zones. The outside linebackers, typically, I will go ahead and blitz them. However, if I do want to mix it up, like right here, I notice my opponent's starting to throw a lot of quick outs. He's kind of went away from the zig route, and now he's throwing out routes. So now, instead of manning up my middle linebacker, I will actually start doing zones like this, where I put a hard flat out there by the outside linebacker, and then now I'm blitzing off of one side. The pressure still is going to come in free. And even if, it doesn't come in free 100% of the time when we're not sending, the 7 or the 8, it's going to speed up our opponent's, mindset, right? He knows that he's got to get the ball out of his hands. So there he sees the guy coming free. The running back does actually pick him up, but he simply throws his first read right off the bat, right? There's no progression because he knows, like, his first read is going to be his only read at this point, because if he tries to go to a second read, then he's going to get sacked. So here's a 3rd and 3. We went ahead. We had the zone out there. This time, I put the outside guy into a hard flat, and his only option right there was to throw it right at me. So you saw, once again, we had the pressure coming in free. I was able to make a play on the ball, knock it out. Now it's 4th and 3. So, as you can see, right, when you're adjusting, you can adjust the outside linebackers only after they respect the fact that you're going to blitz, right? You can adjust the inside linebackers, whether they are in man or zone, and you can adjust the outside corners. So you do have plenty of flexibility within this blitzing scheme to make the adjustments. Now, right there is something that he hadn't been doing, but I know that is a popular way to beat these blitz-heavy defenses. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the outside linebacker on the left. I put him into a hard flat expecting an out route over there. He's going to motion over an out route by the slot receiver. So I know as soon as he motions that slot receiver over on the out route, I know that I have to go play it. So now I'm taking away his quick read to the left. I'm going to manually jump the route to the right, and he's still going to instantly hike and throw, right? He's not going to trust the fact that he has time, which in that scenario he did, but he hikes, he throws his out route, and we get another stop. So that's the kind of that mindset that you have to have with this defensive scheme, right? Very similar to the 3-4 bear. You don't want to sit there and you just, send everybody all the time, sit in man coverage, or sit with your outside thirds or quarter zones out there. You do have to mix it up, right? And you don't want to mix it up to the point where they have all day in the pocket. But you want to take that one rusher out of there, right? So right here's another perfect example, right? I put the outside linebacker into a hard flat, knowing his quick read was going to be an out route. So we take that away. He has nothing open because he had 2 streaks and an out route. So I manually guard the streak. He rolls out right into a sack, and now it's another long yardage situation where he's going to really have a hard time, dealing with. So here we go again. I get pressure. He throws the zig pretty much right into my flat zone, because right there I did have a hard flat. He just didn't play it. That's Madden 20 for you. But pretty much, once again, he's utilizing zigs. He's utilizing out routes. He knows what he needs to do in order to pick this up. And here he actually hits me with a really nice slant. He hits a slant to the solo side, and this is just a bad user on my part. I jumped the left thinking that he's going to try to throw a streak up the middle of the field, which he does technically have. But I go left, he hits the slant underneath, and ultimately is able to pick up a first down. But just like it's easy to pick pick up big chunk yards against this, if you make the wrong read, because all of these things are happening very fast, right? If you make the wrong read, you're throwing a pick, and that's why these defenses were so good this year, and that's why this this 4-4 defense, in my opinion, is the best defense pressure wise in the game. Here you see he goes the out route, boom, we get a pick, and this time we're taking it for crib. So I know it wasn't as easy to break this down as, do this against that. I just wanted to kind of show you guys that you do have plenty of flexibility within this blitzing scheme to make the adjustments. It's just not your normal type of adjustments. You kind of have to be aggressive knowing your pressure is going to come in. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit out of this video. It's definitely different than the way that I normally like to play, right, with the coverage shells and all that. But I do hope you guys enjoy it.